Close enough. Okay, this is the Plainfield Planning Commission meeting for Monday, December 15th, 2025. We've got Jesse Cooper and David Checkman, and we're gonna start our meeting as we usually do with a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Yeah, I'll move it.
And a second.
Second.
Yeah, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Jesse, you've got yourself muted, so we only have one microphone. I think that's good.
Yeah, can you hear me when I talk?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, great.
So that'll eliminate the feedback. So we can start working on the draft, and David sent out some points to discuss, and I've got them on my screen, and you probably got that email here. But the heading dates need updating. Now on the draft, it says adopted on March, which is when we adopted the zoning. At the bottom, we're making amendments.
Okay, so it seems like it would be good if it said maybe March and then amended.
It does. If you look, it says the amendments from July.
Oh, okay.
And then when we ever get this done, it'll say amended. But the formal adoption is still the one at the top.
I see. Okay.
And
Where can I pull up those? Are they on the Planning Commission page, or is it in
no, I haven't put it on the page yet because we're still working. I'd like to get it pretty close to what we're gonna do the hearing with. I think we might be there at the end of tonight, and we can put it up. So working through David's thing, the village district 2.7.3, I put that in. Remember, we discussed about trying to locate what is essentially the conditional use, the lot area minimum.
Yeah, and I think it was fine. It just like the text was a little.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It's all screwed up. Its word went crazy on me.
And then there's a phrase where it says or more with public sewer that almost looks like it's kind of adjacent to the condition to the 30%, and it almost makes it seem like 30%, a maximum of 30% or more with public sewer.
Yeah, okay, I could take that out. The way I copied and pasted it.
Right, that's what I figured.
But yeah, it's a whole formatting thing that screwed everything up. And I tried to fix it. And at a certain point, I said, we're just going to see how it looks. So do you think it still makes sense to try to fit that language as the conditional use up in there?
Yeah, and I think the or more that could just get deleted, I think.
Okay.
Or it's the subdivision with public sewer up to 30% of the lots may be 1/10 of an acre or more, or 1/10 of an acre or larger.
Because yeah, but
right, because if it's a village,
well, we're only talking about the village district right now.
It's a village district, but it's not on water and sewer, then it's 2 acre.
Right.
So I think that's why it's a village lot on public sewer may have a lot size down to an
right. It's just the text since the text was in place, I got worried that if it not worried, but that if it didn't get cleaned up, it almost made it look like the 30%.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, but
you could move with public sewer to the beginning of the sentence,
sure.
So it's more clear.
Sure.
It's also weird to say 1/10 of an acre or more. It seems like it should be 1/10 of an acre or larger. But
well, let's see. In the conditional use right now, it says lot area minimum between 1/5 and 1/10 acre with public sewer. So that's the conditional use. And then we say lot area minimum in the description under dimensional standards. It says 1/5 acre with public sewer. I suppose I should take out the lot area minimum. Let me take that out. And I don't know. And then it says, yeah, because it says lot area minimum / 1/5 acre with public sewer And then we could say capital between 1/5 acre and 1/10 acre with public sewer as a conditional use, which is what it says above. So it's basically saying what we talked about last time is trying to, even though it's a conditional use, you don't see it when you read the dimensional standards. So we
Right.
put it in there. And then we say 2 acres without public sewer. And then in a major subdivision, up to 30% of the lots may be 1/10 acre on
Yep.
public sewer. So let me format that. And then once again, we'll see how it reads. And maybe we should put it on the website and see what people say, because we've been tossing this basketball so back and forth so many times, we may not even know a game.
Right. Right. It's,
That's the way I
and
feel.
it's hard to see everything.
Yeah, it is hard to see everything. And then we know what we're saying, but the question is, does people reading it for the first time know what we're saying?
Yeah, and is it clear enough that
Yeah.
it's won't be misinterpreted from
Right.
the intent, which
Right. Well, yeah, we don't want it to
could
be
business
misinterpreted.
for us non-lawyers.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll work on that. It's a lot of it is the formatting, and because it's underlined and deleted and the spaces, I was kind of in a little bit of a hurry trying to get this out in time for you guys to look at it. And at a certain point, I just gave up and said, I can't fix that. I don't know what I'm doing. And then what's interesting is when I convert it to the PDF, things go even wackier sometimes.
Yeah.
So we'll get there. We'll get there. Maybe I'll try to do it. Take a little more time to get it done. It says going down through David's list again, section 5.3 applicant fee strike.
That's just another type formatting thing where it says submit twice in the same sentence.
Did it? Okay, let me
Or
look at that.
What I looked at did.
Well, the way to look at it is to look at it in the PDF.
Oh, I find it's weird. Like if I look at it in the PDF, then I sometimes miss things.
Yeah, well,
but yeah,
the PDF, because the Word document may show that as a strikeout, but it's essentially deleted in the text. So
right.
the PDF.
When I looked at it, I thought it didn't. I thought it was not struck out, but maybe.
Okay.
And it's just that it says it's just a typo type thing.
I think it's correct, although I see a comma there that shouldn't be there in the PDF. So I'm gonna make sure that gets taken out. And then 5.4.
That could be another the same thing. We had talked about last week of the language about we clarified all the language about the permit.
Yes.
With the at the beginning of the process, but then it shows up again, and when it's discussing the subdivision, shows up in the sketch plan and the subdivision, and we just have to delete the subdivision.
I think you're right. It does show up twice because it should only be for the sketch plan.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Which is really for the whole process.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the next two are a little more substantial. The revisions. How do you revise the plan?
We haven't really talked about that.
Right.
And I found it. I thought it was worth just having some discussion about, because it's another one of these things, kind of like the waivers, where it's so touchy-feely that and maybe it has to be, but there seemed like there was a lot of discretion given to the zoning administrator.
Yes.
And it just like, I don't, not worried about, with Karen in particular, but I worry that, all of these things that require discretion or, you know, are like, well, boy, we're getting really close to where volunteers, you know, may or may not have the, background and, you know, judgment that's needed. So I wasn't sure if it needed some tightening up or something, but
Yeah,
I don't have any suggestions.
right, it's too bad Karen's not here because she has some more experience that, um, it says revisions to subdivision plans, no changes, erasures, modifications, or revisions shall be made on any final subdivision plan after final approval. So once it's done, it's done. You can't go back. So that seems reasonable. Otherwise, you'd never have a process that ends.
Right,
There's a minor amendment process. The applicant shall submit proposed changes, erasures, modifications, and revisions to the zoning administrator in accordance with 8.8. I will have to go look at that. The zoning administrator may issue decisions for minor amendments. So that's the thing. It's up to the zone, and what it doesn't do, I don't think, do we have we don't have a definition for a minor amendment, do we?
right.
Maybe we should look one up.
Yeah, that, it just, you know, made me a little bit, you know, I just, like,
Oh, well, wait a minute. Do we define minor amendment? Let me go up to the definitions. It's always good to look. But if we don't define a minor amendment,
but is it
then,
an amendment the same thing as a revision?
yeah, it's a change.
Okay,
Because we're, you know, it's like what we're doing here. We're making changes. So let's make a,
This isn't the case, just to be clear what this even is. This isn't the case where someone has applied for a subdivision, had it approved, and now they want to change it.
no, it's before the final approval. It's during the process.
I thought that the minor change was after. And that,
Well, it said it's, hold on.
maybe I misread it. I don't have it in front of me now, so.
Okay, I got it. I'm heading back there.
After final approval.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So let me go
That's
back.
like, that's like someone starts work on the project and then they realize there was something off in their application, and it doesn't force them to completely redo the subdivision. It lets them say, hey, can I move this
Right.
line a little bit or something?
Right, or, yeah, any number of things like that, sure.
Yeah, I see a couple of spelling checks. But it does say revisions to subdivision plans. It says section 5.51, revisions to subdivision plans. No changes, erasures may be made after final approval, except for these amendment processes. So it does, so it is, yeah, you're correct. It's after final approval, and you have an amendment process that the zoning administrator has discretion over. And one is a minor, which I think maybe we should define, and then a major amendment process. If the zoning administrator rules a proposed amendment is major, process for applying for the amendment shall be the same as the original decision. So in
Right.
other words, you start all over again if it's major.
Right, so maybe just like some definition, a little, you know, if
Of a minor.
if it doesn't exist somewhere else.
Yeah.
We should try to find some, you know, not too complicated definition for.
Yeah, okay. You can look at Marshall, I'll look at Montpelier, and somewhere in the middle, there's something probably that works. Okay, we'll put that on the to-do list. And then the traffic, you had mentioned the traffic study.
Well, I'm a little uncomfortable with the addition of opinion rather than study.
Uh-huh.
That if I understood that revision right, that, and my example would be, you know, the East Hill traffic thing I thought personally thought was bogus. that might be too strong a word, but
Well,
that-
let me read what we have right now for language. It says, for traffic, we say the Development Review Board may request the preparation of a traffic impact opinion or study to identify impacts and mitigation. So that gives the DRB the ability to, I mean, if it's a pretty minor subdivision, a
Right.
traffic opinion from the road crew is good, but the DRB has the discretion to ask for a study. Now, how do we define a study? Is that, we could look for language that says a study, which is one conducted by a licensed engineer, yada, yada, yada.
right,
So we clarify a study, and the DRB has the discretion to say, hey, we can do an opinion for a 3-lot subdivision, on up where the all we need really is the road commissioner and a road foreman to say, yeah,
Right.
it's not a big deal because 2 more
but
houses.
how would you word that?
What we want to do is define what a study is, and once again, we could look for common language and other regulations to say this is what a traffic study is, not just traffic.
Right.
It says a preparation of a traffic impact opinion, which is the road guy, and then or study to identify impact. So we could define a study as conducted by a licensed traffic engineer. Once again, find some common language that would firm up what a study is. And
yeah, and maybe, put something in there more, kind of like what you just said, which is, we don't want to say minor subdivision because we don't have minor subdivisions anymore, but
right.
that the DRB would have the discretion to decide whether the
Yes.
subdivision had enough impact that it required a study as defined or just an opinion from the.
Yeah, it does. It says the DRB may request the preparation of a traffic opinion or study. So the DRB has that discretion to decide when to make it. And I think that's reasonable. I mean, if they can't make that decision, they got to make a lot of other decisions.
Right.
So if it's a big one, like the East Hill expansion project, would be more than just somebody coming in and say, "Hey, I think it's cool."
Right. Which happened.
Yeah.
But I thought it was personally thought it was very poorly done.
Yeah.
It wasn't a traffic study. That's why maybe defining traffic study would be
Yes.
worthwhile.
And you have to rely on the DRB to request that. Or
Right.
certainly if in a public hearing situation, somebody can stand up and say,
Sure.
well, I think this opinion is not sufficient. I'm going to ask the DRB or to request a study within these guidelines.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. So if we just add a little bit of definition.
Yes.
The study that, and we'll look for that. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
Okay, cool. Thanks for pointing those things out. Like I say, I look at it so much, and I just see this. And it's funny. I in the process, there's a where it defines plat is with a capital and a small case P, and then LAT, and it was crossed out in the Word document, but you couldn't really see the stripe because it's all these different colors, and then in the PDF it shows up. So there are people who are more skilled at that than me.
And you're more skilled than me, so that,
okay, so we're defaulting
the hierarchy of our skills.
That's right. So I guess I'll toss out. I'll send out some emails because you'll be traveling and stuff. I'll send out some suggestions for the traffic study definition and the minor amendment process to a subdivision process. We can toss those out. We'll have our next meeting is set for January. Now, Jesse, you won't be able to make that. I'm not looking at my calendar. But
so we're skipping the next meeting.
No.
Oh, that's right, because it's the first and third.
Yeah, but what we
Okay.
could do
Oh,
is
so I'll be back. Yeah.
what we could do is pick another, we just warn us a meeting, we can put all this together, but if we want everybody together, we want Jesse's input for the last document.
What date are you talking about?
Well, no, we remember you and I talked about the regular meeting is going to be on
Six,
January 5th. So you could pick it, and the next one would be the 19th, but the 5th we could pick a date. You could throw out some dates anywhere in January that
For
work
the
for
hearing, you're saying in addition to the two regular
Yes.
meetings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hold our regular meeting, but we hold the Jesse Cooper Memorial meeting.
Right.
And you don't need to decide.
What is the ideal in terms of, will we be ready early in January or?
Yeah, I think unless Karen has a lot of stuff and I can come up with a minor definition that is workable and a traffic study, I'm sure we can put those together soon. And then we say we all meet and do a vote at a Warren meeting that this is what we're going to send out. We send it out, we put it on the website, then we start catching all the complaints. I tried to put that off before the holidays, so we don't get all the Facebooks and all that stuff.
I'll give it to Riley beforehand.
Okay, you could give them to her right now.
Yeah, I will. I keep meaning to do that.
Yeah, give it to him and leave.
He may say he doesn't want to look at it. You never know with him.
Yeah, give it to him and then leave town.
There you go.
So Jesse, no pressure. You pick a date somewhere in the first couple weeks of January, because we know you can't make the 5th and the 19th, but somewhere in there.
I can make those.
Oh, you can.
Right. It wasn't until February that I start to have real conflict.
Then we're good. By the 5th, we should be able to come up with a finished draft.
Yes,
That's right.
I'm good for the 5th and the 19th.
Okay, excellent. Then we're good. And I'll send the minutes out to Karen, and then I'll look and we'll do a little bit of research for those items. And I think that then we're pretty close. We feel pretty comfortable with it. And I'll do one more read through and look.
And we have the narrative that you did.
Yeah,
that would get posted along with
that's part of the hearing warning. And I gotta write. I didn't get to it, and I'll write the thing that goes in the town report for town meeting day,
yeah.
and I'll mention the upcoming subdivision, and I'll put it in there too. So I'll say what we did and then what we're gonna do.
Great.
So that'll be but by that time, we might have had our first hearing, if we, might be mid-February when we hold our hearing. So we might be already in the process. So it's kind of like old news, but still got to say it because the deadline for putting it in was like a couple days ago. I better do it. And I got a copy if you want to read it. I got the invite for the Google document for the East Montpelier Town Plan that they just put out. They just finished. This is when you do a town plan revision, you send it out to your neighboring towns and the Regional Planning Commission. So I just received that email today, and what's nice is I used to have to mail it out, certified mail, and get a certified letter back saying. Now you can just email it to the chairman of the Planning Commission. You respond. It says, "I got it, thanks," and then they have a record that you've received it.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do it electronically versus like $40 worth of mail.
Yeah.
Which is a big improvement. Because you had to print out the entire document. I mean, that's to mail that out is like 10, 12, 20, $15 now.
Yeah.
So that's been that way for a couple of years. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Okay. Jesse, did you have any other comment you want to make on the draft or?
No, I have not thoroughly read through the draft, so
okay.
But you guys are doing this work. I think.
Okay, well, Christmas Eve, why don't you try doing it?
And for the January meetings, are we going to stick to 7 or should we change to 6?
I mean,
do we want to?
I don't know what it takes to do that.
I think I gotta change the warning on the town. I gotta actually look that up, but I mean, I know we can, Karen was just, I'll ask her about via email. If she's okay with that. She was sort of hesitant, but you guys are okay with it. And would
Yeah,
prefer it.
I prefer it, yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're okay with that, Jesse?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll ask Karen, and I think I just posted on the website, may have to post it around town. I don't think it's a big deal. I have to
Okay.
make sure, I have to make it on, I mean, we just have to let everybody know. And then we post the agenda that is that's the warning too. So I'll just make sure I cover all the bases and do that. So unless Karen has a big opposition to it, let's go ahead and do that.
Great.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Thanks for coming into town and enjoy your Christmas and
Thanks.
Yeah, you
holiday and your winter, and you're going to miss the rain. So you're going to stay winter the whole time. You won't have this big break.
I don't think it's gonna be that big a break from what I saw, but
No,
yes.
short, but
It'll be, as far as I can tell, looking at the forecast, it's gonna be, I'm not gonna miss any cold or snow.
no. It's pretty steady, but if the rain comes through Thursday and Friday, it'll be impactful, but not long-lived.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't bring out any mud. Just actually for those backcountry skiers and people that'll give a good, and fat bike riders, it firms the base up.
Yeah,
And the snowmobile is probably even like it, because as long as it doesn't strip it, that hard packed snow is good. Then you get the
it's
snow on top of that.
it's really fluffy now.
Yeah, and it's
Super
hard to
fluffy.
pack.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
it
have,
doesn't pack at all the way it is now.
no, you need that base, then you can move forward with really good stuff. Okay, well, thanks for showing up. I'll send out the
Alright.
minutes, and I think I remember to hit the record, so I can do them a little better.
Nice
Okay.
work.
Right,
A
thanks.
motion
Lynn.
to adjourn, make it official.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in
Motion to
favor? Okay, thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
See you, Will.
Okay.
Bye, Will.
Bye.